Hi there, this is Aaron. Today is Sunday the 3rd of August and it's day 58 on the allotment. I've come back here today and it's the first time I've really been back for 2 weeks. Last weekend we were away and I couldn't spend some time down here. I have been coming down to make sure that things get watered, but yeah, it's what a difference a couple of weeks make. There's an awful lot that's happened. There's stuff that happened during the storm that I told you about at the end of the last video, but I didn't get a chance to show you. And well, the main thing though is that earlier in the week I came down to take a look and make sure the potatoes had been watered. And this is what greeted me. Now I would love to tell myself that this is just dieback, but I don't think it is. I think this is early blight that's caught me. I don't think it's late blight, because that would just have rotted everything and it would stink. And it doesn't stink, but my wonderful forest of green is a forest of blightiness. Now I've done everything right this year. I joined Blight Watch and I've had no alerts of early misses or near misses, anything like that. I was ready to spray if I had. I haven't, which is why I haven't sprayed, but I mean I've done absolutely everything right and I've still got bloody blight. So it's the dreaded blight. Yeah, as I said, I did everything right. It is elsewhere on the plot as well. I think it's come down from the top of the plot down this way towards me. It's just a real shame because I tried everything. So what I've been doing is knocking some of the tops of the potatoes off, and there'll be a potato reveal or two to do today. But let's show you the rest of the allotment and show you how we're getting on. Okay, well during the bad weather, that storm that really did pummel us, what happened is that on both sides, yeah, the ties that were attached to this frame and were also attached to the plastic have all been pulled away. There was only 2 of them, and what it means is that this now flaps around. If I take a step back, the wind hasn't taken it at the moment, but I mean, with the door open, if the wind, not very much wind, does blow, I mean, you can really start to see the structure of the greenhouse losing any integrity it's got, because now this plastic cover is only held on by the cords on the other end of it, and there's only a couple of those on each side. So what it means is that there is an awful lot of stress that is being placed on those, and I mean the next good bit of wind it's going to rip it off. It does mean that these guy ropes that are absolutely useless are pretty much the only thing that will keep it in place now. I can't leave the door open with any kind of breeze whatsoever, and straight after this I will be closing it back up again. So I mean if Apollo ever do see this, the cover is certainly strong. You've done a good job with the cover, but the point is that it needs to distribute the points at which it has stress placed on it. And so if more ties were placed along, you know, the side, for instance, yeah, so if 2 or 3 were placed along every point where it comes into contact with the frame, then that would mean that there would be no one point that would have all that stress placed on it. The reason that this broke is because the wind was hitting it and full on, and it only had a few points to take the stress, and obviously it wasn't strong enough. So it's certainly going to be a fruit cage for next year. I don't expect it to be back next year. The structure, you know, the tubing will be, because I can make use of that, but I suspect that this is not actually going to make it. And it served its purpose. But yes, Apollo, if you are looking, that's what's wrong with your design at the moment. And I don't think it could be that difficult to fix it. Coming inside, you can see that, yeah, because I'm having to keep the door shut, everything is getting slightly cooked, but it is still enjoying it. I mean, the cucumbers are still in flower. I'm still getting cucumbers off it. I've got one to take home today. I've picked one that's a little bit young as well, because I'm interested to see what the difference is. But you can see that they're all really big and tall, growing up now, up right into the top. So these cucumbers have really done well for me this year. I'm very, very happy. More chillies, including some quite big ones, and I'm kind of hoping that on these big ones, and I'm thinking particularly of this one here, which is a really big chilli, and there's one down here which is another big chilli. So those two, I wonder if they've got some seeds in them. They might have that Scotch Bonnet punch that I've been waiting for. So we'll have to see. But yeah, feeling really good about these. This year's seed, and this is a Scotch Bonnet, this year hasn't given flowers yet, and I think I'm going to be doing my trick to overwinter them. Now that does mean I've got 40 chillies to overwinter, and I'm not sure at the moment how I'm going to do that, because I certainly won't be able to do it in here. So I need to have a think about overwintering chillies, and there may be a certain amount of culling that has to take place. We'll see. One of them, and he is recovering, but one of them got knocked off during the storm, this one here, and he got quite badly damaged. Bless him, he is trying to recover, and he's doing as good a job of it as he can do. But yes, this chilli plant had a bit of a hammering. Bottom row, and they're all doing well. More chillies to take from this one. So lots of heat coming through, and lots of promise for the future as well. Now, take a look at my sunflowers. This one here, unfortunately the storm did a number on him and knocked him completely flat, which is such a shame because he was doing really, really well. I've now staked them, and what I've realised is that sunflowers should be staked, so I won't make that mistake again. This one in the middle is my biggest. He isn't staked, and the wind didn't flatten him. So I was worried actually that if I did put a stake in when I didn't absolutely have to, that I would be catching his roots and might do him some damage, so I left him alone. There's another one that was also flattened on this side, and he's also been staked, and he's made quite a full recovery actually, and it possibly won't be long now before he opens up and faces the sunshine. I can see the little yellow flower there ready, so I'm hopeful that over the next week I might have something there. Now down here, and this is really interesting, this pumpkin here, and you can see that now, that really is quite a big pumpkin. That is bigger than my head now. I'll do another shot of that in a second, but these other pumpkins, they haven't started to vine yet. There's 3 of them, 1 here, 2 and then 3. There's lots of flowers, and I remember watching Dan's videos where he's saying self-pollinating them. Well, I can see flowers, and I can see lots of female flowers, but I haven't seen a male flower yet, so I'm just going to let this do its thing a little bit more. It is giving out flowers, you can probably see those there, and that's the same on all of them. So I'm just going to let it do its thing for a bit and hope that another week we'll have more flowers, and then it will be more obvious where the male flowers are so that I can hand pollinate it if it isn't doing well. Here's a better shot of my big pumpkin, doing really well, and I've got another one coming on the end there. So looks like we're going to have a pumpkin. Pleased about that. Now these peas are ready. I need to be picking peas. These are the Deuce Provence, and I'm definitely growing these next year. These are absolutely gorgeous. Runner beans. Now let's take a look at some of these. There are some really big ones on here. Really nice to eat. Enormous said that they grow sort of 2 foot long. Now I'm not picking them at 2 foot long, I'm picking them before that. But I'm hoping that as we go through August and get towards the end of it, that there will be some that I let go a little bit longer, because I'm hoping, I mean it's probably a forlorn hope, but I'm hoping that I might have some that I can enter into the village show this year. So hope springs eternal there, but lots and lots and lots of beans. We're going to have beanie fun for tea tonight. The Blue Lake has reached the top now. I mean, I can't see, this is a wall of beans now. I can't see through it. It looks absolutely green and lush. It's got some white flowers on it, and that probably means that it's not long before it's got some beans. They should be quite easy to spot once they do start to grow, and I don't think it's long before they're going to be coming through. Again, reached up the top, vining across. And that brings us quite nicely to the Bellotti Beans. And they've reached the top as well. They're doing really good. They're in flower. And again, it shouldn't be too long before I get some Bellotti Beans as well. Just stepping back, and you can now see how gorgeous that bean setup is, with them all coming through. And then the Deuce Provence just at the end there with the sunflower. This is hopefully going to be my best success of the year. I'm really looking forward to more of these. Now, leeks. Some of these are actually starting to look quite big now. I have 30 days before we have the village produce competition, and I was wondering if one of these leeks might be able to make it. We'll see, we'll see. I started them really early in February, so possibly I should start earlier next year, but some of them do look like nice leeks. Still not worked out what I'm going to do with my currant. It is still live. Obviously it hasn't given any fruit this year, but I've had a chat with the secretary and possibly something is going to happen. So we'll see. Now, as I've been over here today, can you see these raspberries on here? Now, these didn't even start to form until October last year, so it shows what a lovely July we've had this year. That I've been picking raspberries off this all day and been munching them and having a wonderful time. So my raspberry's doing really well this year. Now look at that for a rhubarb. Oh, I'm so pleased. You get it to scale actually if you look at the bags. I've started to cut the tops off of the potatoes. I will be cutting all of those off today. I'm not going to reveal all of them. I'm just going to do some. But yeah, rhubarb. What a wonderful rhubarb specimen you have become, all grown up and looking like a dinosaur plant. So you can see there's an awful lot happening. There's quite a lot I need to pick today. So I'm going to get on with that, and I'll show you what I've got in the way of a haul at the end. Now, we've all seen the videos from Mr. Nocton, and certainly, Mr. Nocton is definitely of the opinion that having a big one is a big idea. Well, Mr. Nocton, that one is not just 16 inches long, that is also 8 inches in girth. So have a word with Mrs. Nocton, I'm sure she'll tell you that girth is important as well. That is a serious cucumber. It's certainly the biggest cucumber that I've grown this year. You could club somebody to death with that, my word, what a beauty. Well, here is my bean haul. There's a combination of some very young, and I've tried a couple, and oh my word, they are gorgeous, Blue Lake French beans, and also the Enorma runner beans, and some of them are 13 inches long. So I'm really pleased at that haul for the day. not too shabby. Well, there's certainly a little portion of raspberries there. Not many, but of course these plants don't give up that many. I didn't get many off it last time, but the point is, it's only really sort of August time, and I'm already getting these raspberries, which is brilliant. So here we have a bag of Anya that has been grown in coir, and there were 4 seed potatoes put in here. So let's see what we get. And there is the reveal, and I'm very happy. The ones that I've got are bigger, there's more of them, they are all together better. And I was quite surprised because these were grown in coir, and I was convinced that coir was no good, but see, yeah, that one as big as my hand, quite a few like that, much better. Really pleased. Well, it's getting towards the end of the day now, and it's been a good haul, but I'm running out of light, and I don't actually know what the time is, but I know that it's getting pretty late now. So I'm going to leave it here for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Allotment. Goodbye.